By the end of this video, you will learn about AI agents and build your first basic AI agent from scratch. Now, this course is designed for people who have no idea about AI agents at all. So, make sure to watch the entire video and you will hopefully build your own agent. First of all, let's go to terminal and new terminal. And here we will activate the environment. And now we will create our lesson 1 file. That's it. Let's increase its size. Okay. First of all, we will import the libraries we need. Import OS, import google.generative AI as GenAI. Why? Because we are using the free API key from Google. Alright, let's come to the first step in which we will set up our API key the way we discussed in the previous video. In case you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it because in it I explained how to set up the API key and how to get it from the Google AI Studio, etc. Google API key. That's it. Till here we have given our API key, and now after putting the Google API key, we will select our model as well, which we have to use it. And by model I mean the LLM. That's it for the basic step. Now let's understand the flow of agent. We will use LLM as brain and Python function as tool. You have to understand it again that we will use the LLM, the model Gemini in this case, as brain, and then we will use our functions which we will create here as tool. This way we will take user prompt and give it to the LLM, and then LLM will think and decide which tool to use. For this lesson we are only gonna use one tool, which is multiply. This is the most basic version of agent from where you can actually learn about agents. Make sure to watch the entire video carefully and take notes, as from the next video we will focus on coding. Now let's create our tool, which is multiply function. And in it we will give a description as well. We are giving this description just for our own understanding. This way when we have a lot of tools, we can know which tool was doing which work. Now that we have created our tool, which is the multiply function, let's move to the brain of our agent. This is where we will connect everything together. But before that, we will give the agent a goal or a question. This is something which it has to solve. So in this case, we will write user question, what is 42 multiplied by 17. this is our prompt, the goal, the same way we give it to the ChatGPT, etc. And after that, we will create our main prompt, which acts like the agent's instruction manual. It tells the LLM exactly how to think, what tool to use, and how to give the answer. I will repeat again that it tells the LLM exactly how to think, which tool it can use, like we will provide a list of the tools, and then how to give the answer. The structure we are using here is called React Framework, which stands for Reason plus Act. It means that the agent first thinks about what to do and then acts using the right tool. So now let's move to the main prompt. I have created this basic structure of the prompt, so you just have to copy it and paste it. I will provide this file in the description of the video, so you can use it from there. We will paste it inside it, and now we will read it. You are a helpful assistant. Your goal is to answer the user's question, and then we will tell the AI, the LLM, that you have access to the following tools and the names of the tools, like whether it's one. In our case it's one, so we will just write the name of that tool, that function, and then we will tell us how to think. To answer this question, you must follow this sequence. The first one will be thought, think about what you need to do. Action, use the tool you have available. You must write it in the format tool A, B, its parameters. In the third step, observation, I will give you the result of the action. How it will happen, that it will give us response that you use the tool multiply, and then we will use the multiply function and give it the answer back to the LLM. And then it will think again. You will then think about the result and give the final answer. Let's start, and then user question, and in it we will pass this string, the value in this variable. Now you should notice that we are using multi-line comments, and the F behind it is showing that the string is formatted. If we remove it, you will see that, it's just acting as a normal sentence. But if we write F at the beginning of it, now its color is changed and it's variable, you can see. In our case, we have to use only one tool, which is of multiply. So we will just do this thing, that multiply A, B, and then we will write the descriptions. We'll just copy it from here and paste it here. That's it. Now our prompt is set up. So any tool you have to use, you will just use this prompt. In the further videos, we will do little bit of changes. The sequence will remain same. After this step, we will send the prompt we have wrote here to the model, to the LLM. Response is equal to model.generate content, and in it we will pass the prompt. That's it. And after we get its answer, we will convert it into a string, and we will name it as thought and action is equal to response.text. Simple. We will also print the response of the LLM so that we can see step by step that what's happening at the back end. Alright, so as the comment is mentioning that in the next part we will extract the action from the LLM's response. Let's move towards it. If multiply 42 17 in thought and action. And then we will multiply observation, multiply 42 17. Now we see that we have got the observation, which is this step, so we will also print it. Now we have got the answer from our tool which we have used. We have created this tool in our own program, in our Python file which is here, and we are not using the LLMs tool. We are asking it just to give us the info regarding which tool we have to use. In this case, it told us that we have to use a multiply tool. Why? Because we gave it the prompt that what is 42 multiplied by 17. Here you can understand that we will use the multiply function. Even if you use calculator, we will use multiply to calculate it. So the same way it's happening here, and we have confirmed that multiply 42 17 is in the thought and action, so we will just use it. And after this step, we will give the prompt back, as we have said that I will give you the result of the action. So how to give that result? You have to look carefully, because we will use this in the further videos. We will name it as prompt with observation. In it, first of all, we will pass the prompt, which was what we were using before, and then the second one we will use is thought and action, and then we will tell us the observation. That's it. And after that, we will wait for the final response. At the end, we will get the final response, which will be the modified version of the answer. The LLM will give it back to us. Prompt with observation. Print the final response from LLM. Yep, it's perfect. We will convert it into text so that we can see the string instead of JSON. Now I guess it's time to run it. Let's see if it's working or not. We will do Python lesson 1.py. We have just did a spelling mistake. Maybe it's about the error in this place. Let's see. Let's try to run it again. Yup, now it's working. So let's see what it has given us. LLM's first response: third, the user is asking to multiply two numbers 42 and 17. I can use multiply tool for this. Action: multiply 42 and 17. And then the coder, I see the action is to multiply 42 and 17, which we were writing here. The action is to multiply 42 and 17, running the multiply tool function, and then it will run it, and then the observation result is 714. So it gave us the answer, which is 714. And then we will pass it back into the LLM by giving it a prompt in which we wrote the previous prompt, and then the thought and action, and then the observation, the result we got from the tools. And after that, the final response from LLM, the user asked for the product of 42 and 17. I have already performed the multiplication using multiply tool and obtained the result 714. Therefore, I can now provide the final answer. The answer is 714. So now you can see that it's working 100%. Like, we have created our AI agent, our mini AI agent for multiply function. Now let's understand some things which I wanted to teach you. First of all, where do we use LLM in our AI agent part? The first state, which is of perceive. Perceive means we just get the user input, the user question, and where we wrote the prompt of the user. This place, this is called the perceive stage. And then the think reason stage, this is the stage where we pass the prompt to the LLM. So yes, here we use the LLM. And then the act. Act is where we were calling the function of multiply, the tool. So sometimes we use it when we have to use external APIs, etc. But in our case, we are not gonna use it. So we will not use LLM in the tool phase. And the last phase, which is of learn, in which we pass the prompt back to the LLM and it then reflects the answer and recreates the answer for us. So yes, we use the LLM there. Let's see its example. Reading the result 714, saying the final answer is 714. Like we saw that our observation which we got from the tool, it was just giving us 714. But when we passed the prompt back into the LLM, and then it gave us like a detailed answer. As you can see, the answer is 714. It's just messing up the terminal, but apart from that, the answer was this. The summary, what we have built. We have created a mini AI agent, which is a program that receives a goal, which is a question, and it is about the multiply. And then it thinks using an LLM. In our case, we are using Gemini. Why? Because it's free. Acts using tools or functions. By here it just means we are calling the multiply function. And then learns from the result and give the final answer. How it learns from the result? We just pass it the answer from the tool, which is 714, and then it gives the final answer. Answer of this multiplication is 714. And it also saves the memory, but we are not going to use it now. We will use it in the future. So this is the same basic structure used by advanced agents like LangChain, AutoGPT, etc. I hope that you have understood this video. It is a bit longer, I know, but from the next video, we will focus more on coding. If you understood from it, make sure to subscribe Neurocode and make sure to watch the videos of playlist in order so that you can understand from basics and in a step-by-step order. See you in the next video.